Okay, let's try to understand what we're seeing here. So what I have here is I have the batteries. I just have two AA batteries, or AAA or D or C or whatever. Just two of them make about 3 volts. So first of all, I put the current through a 5 ohm resistor just so that the capacitor won't charge up too quickly. Probably not a big deal, but it might make your capacitors live longer. Okay, so we have the battery, very small resistor, and then the capacitor, and we need to make sure that the positive of the battery goes the positive on the capacitor, negative of the battery goes the negative on the capacitor, else your capacitors won't live very long. Okay, so series circuit, battery, safety 5 ohm resistor, and the capacitor, maybe a switch. I don't happen to have one. I'm just going to attach to the battery when I'm ready to turn the circuit on. Now, what's going on over here? In parallel with this capacitor, we have the 100 ohm resistor, and then we have the voltmeter that is measuring voltage for us in milliamps, and it goes up to 2. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better. Okay, so now what's going to happen? I'm going to allow the circuit to charge, so I'm going to basically close the switch or connect the battery. I'm going to close the switch or connect the battery until it's nice and high up there. Now I'm going to get my stopwatch ready, okay? So I'm going to disconnect, and I'm going to start my stopwatch whenever I'm ready. So I might start my stopwatch now. Okay, and every 10 seconds I am going to write down the voltage. So I'm going to write down the voltage now. That'd be 0.95. Okay, and now, all right, that's 0.84. So you get the idea. Now, here's another idea, is feel free to have students start their stopwatch when the voltage is exactly 1. So we can try this again. I'm going to let it charge up again. I'm going to let the circuit charge up, so I'm going to wait a good long time, so about 10 seconds, to make sure the circuit's all charged. Okay, now I'm going to start as soon as we drop below 1 volt. So that way I know for sure that my starting voltage is exactly 1. Now, the students may be waiting for a little while for that to happen. I think this is the one that I'm going to take data on. So I'm going to take data when we start. Okay, there we go. We started on 1. And after 10 seconds, we get 8.8, basically. And after another 10 seconds, we have 7.9. So you can keep going, and I would take data for quite a few seconds. Really, I would take data until this was down to a quarter of what it started at. So just keep taking data every 10 seconds. And if we start at 1, let's stop taking data after this falls below 0.25, let's say. All right, so then we're going to repeat. Only when we repeat, we're going to repeat for trials where we have 2 capacitors in series, 2 capacitors in parallel, and then 2 resistors in series and 2 resistors in parallel. All right, let's look at our data.